Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on this channel. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh video. So, as hopefully any of you clicking on this know, I've been doing a little project lately. We're doing our own progression format series called the Progression Tournament. And if you didn't know that, you should go check it out now. We're like 17 episodes in as of recording this, or 16? Time gets a little blurry. We record stuff in different chunks as we do bits, so it's hard for me to remember exactly which is public and which I'm just in the middle of building. Anyway, this isn't about that, except it kind of is, but it isn't. So, the point of the progression type series, you know, created by Simo and Nimnim originally. Pretty sure they originated it. Lots and lots of other people have cloned it, but the point is, you open virtual booster boxes through the sets of the years of Yu-Gi-Oh! You evolve over time. We have our own special rules to kind of switch that up because we have multiple people involved and stuff. You know, we do some interesting things. But one of the interesting things here is you go through the different eras of Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, you go through all the different stuff with the different aptitudes, different ways you handle things, different monster types, archetypes over the years. And while I've got some players who have played some very recent Yu-Gi-Oh! or are, you know, still playing Yu-Gi-Oh! After a long period of time, we've also got some people who are a little rusty, who may not remember how to do all the stuff and things with certain monsters. And also, I know that that can happen with the audience, too, so I wanted to actually shoot this little video series. Well, it's a singular video, but it will be a series of short clips that will let everybody playing the progression tournament and everybody at home know how to do all sorts of the summonings, special summoning types, in Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll skip the basic shit like inherent special summons and tributes. You know how to do that. It's, you know, it's old school rules, but definitely going to talk about all the extra deck summoning and some of the other special methods, and just run this through this little tutorial. This will give all my players an opportunity to catch up on how that works in Edopro, because I will be doing it through Yugioh. But also to, you know, when we go through the eras, this will be a quick video guide that the audience can be like, oh yeah, how does that work again? So, without much further ado, let's jump into how to do every kind of extra deck summon in Edopro. Okay, so most of you probably know how to fusion summon. It's pretty basic. You need to have the appropriate fusion monster materials, you can see hovering over here, in your extra deck, which was originally called the fusion deck if you're that new of a player. You also used to be able to put as many monsters as you wanted into it. And then you need some sort of spell card to trigger this process, like a polymerization. So you just activate polymerization. It allows you to special summon a fusion monster using materials from your hand or field. And there you go. You've done it. In later sets of Yu-Gi-Oh! You will start getting specialized forms of fusion or archetypal forms of fusion, which let you fuse specific monsters from other places. Miracle Fusion, for instance, lets you fuse from the graveyard, and everybody's favorite Red Eyes Fusion, I will demonstrate here, lets you fuse from the deck. So I can pick the ones that are still in my deck, I send them, fusion. There you go. There's also another form of fusion which does not require polymerization, called contact fusion, where you just have the materials out and you can special summon. So I will demonstrate that for you now. Then you can just go to your extra deck, pick the monster you want, pick the materials. They're banished in this case, and there you go, contact fusion. There are also, you know, interesting cards like Metamorphosis and Mask Change, which lets you do one-card fusions, basically. We're not going to go into all that, but there you go. That's how you do various forms of fusion. So, ritual summoning. It's not an extra deck summon, but it is a core special summon type. There's a special card background and everything, so we'll talk about it really quick. A lot of people probably remember this from the OG series as well. But the gist of it is, much like polymerization, for fusion summons, you need a ritual spell of some kind to kickstart this. There are specific ones and generic ones. There's a lot of them out there, so they all have different requirements. The general gist is you need to tribute usually at least the number of levels for the appropriate monster. So I'll activate Blackluster Ritual. I will summon Blackluster Soldier. I need a level 8, so I will discard those two. He is here. Like I said, there are many alternates. Some require exact levels, some can exceed. Some can be done with only one if you have special monsters involved, but that's your basic core of ritual summoning. So, Synchro Summoning is where we start to get a little funky. Synchro Summons go in the extra deck. To create them, you will require usually one tuner and one or more non-tuner monsters. And there may, of course, be very specific requirements, like needing specific tuners by name, attribute, type, whatever. But the core thing is you need a tuner and at least one non-tuner monster by default. And to create them, you will need to make those monsters equal the levels exactly of your target Synchro. And, of course, tuners can be anything. They're mostly, main deck normal or effect monsters, but they can be Synchro monsters, fusion monsters. They've even come out with a tuner ritual that's coming out in the OCG. So let's demonstrate for you the Synchro Summon. So you'll want to get out your tuner, indicated in Edopro by the yellow card text. Then we can activate Stardust Trails effect. That's a non-tuner level 4. We can now tune together those two, Synchro Summon, Stardust Dragon, and Trail to the thing. I don't think it does anything because we're doing the thing, but we can set a token, which can go into further Synchro plays. And that is how you Synchro Summon in brief. Do remember, you need exact levels. This is very important. Don't get bamboozled. So now we're going to talk about Xyz summoning. Yeah, I know I goofed this one up at first too, but the Y and Z are lowercase, so it should be pronounced Xyz, Xi, possibly Ixie if you're feeling spicy. But to Xyz summon, you're going to need 2 or more monsters, typically, of the same level on your board, which you can then overlay into the Xyz monster. Observe. I will special summon 2 level 4s. This allows me to overlay and Xyz summon into a rank 4, like that. The monsters you use as Xyz materials stay stacked under them. They are attached. You can detach them to do stuff, usually. This is very important for the mechanics of Xyz. And obviously there are effects such as ranking up, which you may be able to do inherently on another Xyz monster. It may, for instance, be like, you can play this Xyz monster on another Xyz monster of rank blah blah blah. Attach its materials to that as card as materials stuff. Or you can use things like rank up magic. That's a little complex to set up in one card hand, but you get the gist of it. That's how you overlay and then Xyz summon. It's important to note, you can see this even here, it says R4. Xyz monsters have ranks, not levels. Anything that says levels that doesn't say ranks doesn't apply to them. And ranks function differently from levels, but levels are important to ranks. So, there you go. That's how you Xyz summon. And now we move on to Pendulum Summoning, which many people will claim ruined Yu-Gi-Oh! Forever. So, Pendulum Summoning is pretty funky. It works in both the extra deck and the main deck, because when Pendulum monsters on the field are destroyed, they go to your extra deck face up. Now, we're not going to be able to show that off here because we're just doing demo hands in Edopro, but believe me, that's how it happens. The key thing to Pendulums is the Pendulum Scale. So, in current modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Format, the Pendulum Scales are down here in your spell and trap zones. I don't really know how to set different master rules on the test hand, but back when they were first introduced, they were on the sides here, so you had completely separate zones. And the way this works is you're going to want to set up your Pendulum Scales in your Pendulum Zones. So now you have set your Pendulum Zones. Your Pendulum monsters will have a little scale number. That represents the levels of Pendulum monsters you can Pendulum Summon. So when you activate to special summon, you can select your monsters, and you can select as many monsters from your hand as lie within the 2 scales. So, for instance, I have a 1 over here and an 8 over here, so I can summon all of these Odd Eyes boys, because they are all less than or greater than the 2 scales. This is important. You can't summon exactly on the scale. If I had a level 8 or a level 1 monster, they would not be Pendulum Summonable. And you can see, because I can overlay into one now, because I got 2, you can have Pendulum monsters that are also core extra deck monsters that do stuff and set your scales. But basically, that's how you default Pendulum Summon. You set up your scales. You can then declare you're doing a Pendulum Summon and special summon as many monsters from the hand as possible that fit within those 2 scales. When you are special summoning from the extra deck, you are limited to summoning, at least in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, to the extra deck, the extra monster zone here, or areas I believe pointed to by link monsters. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. They're like links in that respect. That prevents you from recurring pendulum monsters all the time otherwise. But yeah, here we be. Here's your pen stuff, and that's how you pendulum summon. And now the other really controversial summoning method. Let's teach you how to link summon. So links are fairly generic. They require you basically just to tribute some number of monsters in order to summon them equal to their link rating. So you will see on the requirements, let's move over. So for instance, to summon this one, you need 2+ Trickstar monsters, which equal a link rating of 4. Now you may be like, that says 4, but that says needs a 2+. I'll explain that in a second. We'll do some link climbing to demonstrate. But basically, that's the requirements. You got to do that. Now, link monsters are interesting because, as you'll see in a second, they can only do certain things. So we will special summon this one. We will normal this. We will special a link 1 by sending it to the graveyard to play that only in the extra monster zone. So when links start, they can only go in the extra monster zone. But you'll notice now that that one, Trickstar Bloom here, is pointing to this zone. This means that now that we've got 2 monsters, we can choose to activate a Link 2, and it can only be Link summoned to the zone Holly Angel can only use to summon to the Bloom is pointing to. Now, here's the thing with those Link ratings and those minimum monsters. Link monsters count as their Link rating for purposes of the Link rating of Link summoning other monsters. So I have a Link 2 and a Link 1. This means I can make a Link 3 with just these 2 Link monsters because Foxglove Witch's requirements are 2+ fairy monsters. And you can see they have various arrows for various pointing and things and effects when they are linked and co-linked with monsters. Co-link means they're pointing at each other. The Link arrows have a lot of finickiness, but that's the core basics of Link summoning. You just have to have the appropriate types of monsters out there to tribute to Link summon, and then you can attempt to Link climb. And that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe and all that stuff.